What is up, players? It's War Boss Tay up in this mug. Welcome to my worst nightmare. I'm going to be unboxing an old school, 20-year-old, old school Warhammer Fantasy Battles Tomb Kings miniature. It's the Liche Priest. And boy, howdy, what a roller coaster of emotions this was. And you know what? As disappointing as this model turned out to be, people still wonder, Warboss Tay, are you excited about the new Old World game as it's getting ready to come out? And all I have to say to that is, yeah, boy! So here we go. It is the Finecast clamshell pack of the Liche Priest, and it still has that $15.25 price tag on it, which if you remember those prices back in the day, you would look at this and be like, I'm not going to spend $15 on this. A single figure, $15? You must be crazy. Well, boy, how the times have changed. I wonder if you can take a look at this miniature in this unopened pack and let me know, what do you think? Is there anything missing from this model? Do you see anything that is not there that should be there? Can't really tell, so I, against my better judgment, instead of inspecting things visually from outside of the clamshell, I cut it open and I popped the pieces out. Only two with a base. The figure has the frame, which the body comes in, the majority of the body, and the staff on its own with the weapon on it. And we're going to be getting into everything in just a minute. But one of my ideas was to not put him on the base that it came with. This miniature came with a 20mm square base, and I thought, oh, you know what? I've got these 25mm square bases that I'm going to be doing all of my dwarfs and any of the Battle for Skull Pass goblins that I am able to dig up, and anything, really, my old school Warhammer Fantasy miniatures. So I'm not going to use this 20mm base in my head. I'm going to use these. They come in a pack of 100 25mm textured square bases, no slot in the center. I think it's a great deal. If you're interested in getting into some old world action, it's got all the big hype on it, and your miniatures don't have the correct base size, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description. Check it out. It's an Amazon affiliate link, so you'd be helping out the channel if you do decide to purchase it. But I don't know how many packs of these I'm going to go through. I like to play big horde armies, and I know that the dwarfs are going to really appreciate having the bigger base size early. You know, get ahead of the game by getting some 25mm square bases. Okay, now this miniature Finecast, boy, opening this pack and taking the frame out and seeing immediately everything that I remember about what this product was like. Remember in 2004 when they announced Finecast, everybody said, oh, it's going to be like Forge World. It's the next big thing. Games Workshop is going to move to doing high quality resin miniatures, and it's going to be amazing. Well, it wasn't quite how it turned out. And as you can see from looking at this guy, there's a lot of weird little gribbly bits that flash and some air bubbles that have popped out. And it's so like disturbing that you can't really tell what is supposed to be cloth on this figure. Like, he's got a little bit of cloth under his arm right there that to me from the back looks like a piece of thin film that should be scraped away with your knife. And if I was just looking at it from the back and I didn't really inspect it, I would have cut into that thing and lost a big bit of that character, this costume. So the thing I do like about it is they're really leaning into the Tomb Kings, the Liche Priests being mummies and being wrapped in bandages underneath all of their armor and finery. So if you take a look at this miniature, it's got a really good expression. It's really a really well sculpted screaming skull, and I really think that the face is nice. There's a little bit of a mold line up the side of his jawline over his head, but if I'm just looking at it, there's not too much that needs to be cleaned up with the face. When you look at the rest of the body, there's a lot of little nubbins and gribblies that need to be cleaned up and cut away. But if you're a little apprehensive about that, if you're a new hobbyist or gamer, or you're mostly used to working with the Games Workshop plastic and not this resin stuff, then take the back of your hobby knife. Don't cut into your models with your blade, and see if you can gently scrape away at any mold lines. They're tricky. Some of these are real tricky. They're like on the side of his face where the jawline is. And if they're not really egregious, what I would say is just let it be, because it's not worth it to get so frustrated that you slip up and end up messing up the face of your character model that you spent so much money for. And I took off that price tag, $15.25, because I actually got this guy on eBay for $35.25, and I thought I got him at a steal of a deal. But as you're about to see, there is one crucial missing element of this miniature that for some reason I did not pick up on because I was so excited to get into it. I've never really collected Tomb Kings. I haven't painted them. When the choice came that I wanted to do some undead miniatures, and it was down to Tomb Kings or Vampire Counts. The Vampire Counts, that gothic horror, Western, European look just really struck out to me. The vampires and all of that. I wasn't really into this Egyptian looking mummies and stuff. All right, here we're just about ready to get into the staff. I'm taking a look at that weapon like, ooh, that looks really nice. A nice strong blade, a nice solid long pole arm weapon. And of course, being Finecast, Games Workshop being the perpetuators of quality craftsmanship, high quality craftsmanship, this thing is completely warped and bent. And the way you fix this, I've learned through my experience working with some Forge World stuff that was unfortunately bent to this degree, was that you take a pot of warm to hot water, actually a little bit hotter than warm. You don't want to boil the water though. You want the water to be pretty hot to the touch. And then all you're going to do is dip the part that is bent and slowly push it back into place. That is going to solve your issue here if you have a bent weapon. Games Workshop, I don't know why. Like they're sculptors, they're artists, the ones that made the models. I'm doing the Finecast fish shake here. The ones that made the models, like you knew that your Finecast product had this issue. At this point, you must have known, because all of the weapons that, like the staffs and the executioner's weapon, his staff for the Ogre Kingdoms, like every single librarian's staff and long spear and polearm weapon came out bent. Like 99% of the Finecast models came out bent. I don't know why the designers continued to insist on giving their models these long weapons. It's almost like they were dogging on the game or the company by sculpting these weapons and saying, yeah, this is supposed to be straight, but because of the quality of this Finecast product, too bad, so sad, everybody gets a bent weapon. Now, at this point, I'm wondering, where's this guy's other arm? He came on this frame. There is no other piece in this clamshell. At this point, I realized I'm going to have to rewind this video to see, before I opened this clamshell, if this arm was here. And then I thought, well, I clipped a little bit of flash off the bottom of the blade there. Could it have been that? But it's not. This character, this miniature, is missing a right arm. It was never there. It's at this point where I think my brain went into a blue screen, and I couldn't comprehend. Like, I knew Finecast, you've got air bubbles, you've got mold lines out the wazoo, you've got a lot of flash, but to be missing the right arm of this miniature on an unopened clamshell pack, I was gobsmacked. This has never happened to me before. With all of my years of problems with this product, Finecast in particular I'm talking about, the fact that there was no right arm means that I can't build this miniature. Even if I straighten out that stupid staff and I clean up all of the mold lines and flashy bits, and at this point I'm looking at the frame because I don't even know where the right arm would have gone if they just didn't sculpt it. So I'm thinking it came on its own, or maybe it was attached to the staff it's supposed to be, but it just didn't happen in production or in packaging. Anyways, what a waste of time it was taking this guy out. I'm going to try to see if I can throw like a ghoul arm on him or something, because I still want to use him. It's just, what a waste of time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to my subscribers, my patrons here, Mr. Sprinkle, Dicey Guy, Play Painted Pix, Land of Mert, and Mr. Secondaries. Thank you for supporting the studio. If you'd like to join them, click the Patreon link down below in the description. Also, head over to the Discord. We've got a great community over there. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button when you are ready to leave this video, and leave me a comment below. Say hi. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.